go ahead and check in with y'all today. We'll check into the energy. Today I was just outside and I had only had literally needed to just get some air. Cause it was just like, sure, just go outside, get you a little bit of air. Even though you don't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really want to be outside today. And it's like, and plus it's going to probably about to start raining here shortly. So it was just like, just go ahead and stay inside. But the thing of it is, it was like, baby, I ain't know that I was sleeping so good until I realized I was sleeping so good. But it was also for me to recognize that someone had felt in the energy that I had forgot about what it is that they did. And the craziest thing, while I'm sitting there on the bench, some said, Sheree, look up. I look up, I look over. I was like, there go the motherfucking car. Because it was like the first real instance, I was like, Sheree, if you see that car again, fuck that motherfucking car up. Then I was like, nah, shoot, I got something way better. Because with me knowing that for a fact right now that there's eyes on ground, I said, I'm just going to get that motherfucking picture of that car and get your motherfucking tags, bitch. Because payback is a motherfucker. Because whatever it is that it was, I was like, that was get like also gave it like a real part of it, a way that people here in this community where I stay at is involved in this shit. Because I was like, there's no way for you to want to go that hard at somebody. And it was just like, he, like when he did it, he had no choice but to avoid it because it was like everybody was fucking watching. And then clearly, like the lane that he went in, he could have literally drove around me because it was like I was halfway through, but plus I had the light to be able to walk. And instead of this motherfucker going around me, he went directly towards me. And then the fact that he felt that I was gonna forget about that shit, like, nah, bitch, payback is a motherfucker. But the craziest fucking part of it was he was sitting right there in this fucking window watching. I was like, yeah, I got a picture of your window, but it's like when it's time for me to get ready, like to post certain things, that's when I was just like, are we really doing what we're doing right now? Like, is this the game that we're gonna keep playing? But I was like, you know what? Let's make it do what it do. But then it was like also, I was told, if you want to be petty, I could be petty too. But don't allow somebody else to always outdo you too, boo. And it's like somebody was like, huh? Nah, why they gotta put on this? Why they gotta put on that? Because bitch, I put it on. Because I put it on. Somebody needed to hear that. Because I put it on. That's the difference. So somebody was sitting there like, the audacity of them. And then it's like somebody didn't realize that all my social medias are being watched. Every single last one. Every platform, all the other stuff. It was just a piece of it when I went on ahead and screenshot. When I went to go figure out like, why is it cannot? You know, I was like, maybe I should download Instagram. But if someone was like, Sheree, you know you're not meant to be on Instagram. But it was like, we'll see who's hacking into the Instagram. So clearly, if somebody see that a person has that particular type of phone, then that's who y'all conversing with. Y'all not conversing with me when it comes to Instagram. So somebody may have felt that they was getting away for a while with certain things that they were trying to do on Instagram and using the stuff. Like somebody still trying to screen record, mirror the phone, and it's just like, okay, you keep doing that. Because while you feeling like that they watching me, and then it's like the ones that are still trying to do it, it's like, as I'm doing my work, they sit here watching everybody do all this shit. So I was just like, I'm not tripping. I'm not mad about it because every time, because I'm getting a feeling too, somebody was going to do something, right? But right when they was getting ready to fucking do it, it's like somebody came in and they was just like, I don't think I'm supposed to do this. And then somebody stopped immediately, like, goddamn. But it's like, if it's low key giving like dumb criminals getting involved in stupid shit, but then when you get involved, it's just like, hold up. Let me call somebody. Like, okay, the fact that you go call somebody, it's like the beauty in the whole situation. I know a lot of people are literally, I'm picking up in an energy where people are panicking and freaking out. But then it's like, it's even worse because it's like someone feels like whenever they're, because energy projection is a thing. Frequency and that stuff is a thing. But the thing of it is, someone didn't realize that at the same time when you're doing it, I know who you are. Because I'm not supposed to see exactly who's sending it. So when I think I typed this morning, I saw some of these people they either are owners of FIFA, like the soccer league. They're in the soccer league, they play with it, they participate, and they also invest in it. So it was like those top five people. And then it was like I kept hearing Guyanese, Trinidad, Haitian, and I'm like, what? And then it was like somebody could be like French or African or some shit like that. And then it was just like I'm seeing somebody in like a home and stuff like that. So everything that I'm seeing, I was like, should we just sit here? Because for somebody, they feel like most of the time these people be feeling like I'm sleeping, but I mostly put myself in a meditative state because it's like, well, the average human being is not able to function like you can function with 4 hours of sleep, but it will really fucking suppress your nervous system. It will suppress your brain, your concentration, your thinking. It can cause you to be in paranoia. It can cause you to be in like psychosis. You can be, thinking you seeing shit is nothing there. It's just because your body is in sleep deprivation. And then I'm just sitting here like, okay, well, who else is going to be doing this? And I was like, wait, Sharita, you got to think about it. There's like 4 Air Force people that stay in the far back of where you at. Then it was just like earlier this morning because it was like I had to like literally reset my body so I can like sleep appropriately versus sleeping how I've been sleeping. And I'm talking about I'm getting it in good with some good ass sleep. I'm like, these motherfuckers, you pick this time, and I know the front office, usually when people are doing things in a building, they usually wait until the front office is open. But I'm like, they decided to do this. I think they did this around like 7 to like 8 o'clock this morning. And I was just like, you know what, shoot it, fuck it. And it was like, I slept through like the first like 30, 45 minutes. And then after that, it just got a little bit annoying. So I was like, just get up. Fuck it. It ain't gonna hurt you none. Plus, I needed to stretch my body. So I'm just like, But these were the same people. I guess they were hoping like these are people that thrive from certain reactions. Because, when certain people have to hear those noises. So I was like, my first intuition for other people, they'll be like freaking out and being pissed off. Like, where's this fucking noise? What it is, whatever, right? But logical people will be like, well, they should have sent out an email or notification to allow someone to know, like, hey, there's going to be noise. These people are going to be putting in or removing something. And the fact that there was no email this morning when I looked at it, I was like, oh, so they were just going to let this shit happen. So I was like, all right, they're going to strike one against them. But hey, carry on. I'm not going to be concerned about it because it's like anytime that they know that there's going to be an excessive amount of noise, they're supposed to let you know. Also, with them knowing that, hey, you have veterans in there and sometimes it's in your leasing clause about certain noise. And I'm like, if I really had wanted to, I was like, I could get out this fucking lease one way or a fucking other and not have to pay for this shit. Because considering how the fuck they did this, I was like, it's already a class action lawsuit. So I was like, if there's still people that stay here, like genuinely just living here and like living here, shit, they still can get in on the class action lawsuit on the people who own this motherfucking property. And they was like, but how? Well, go sit your ass down and go figure out how. Because figure out how it is that you're messing with someone and you're doing it illegally. Not to mention you got conservice and you shouldn't have conservice. Then on top of that, you using 3 different type of different platforms. And then the subcharge, if someone's trying to pay their fees online, you're charging them an extra $50 to damn near $100 just to pay that shit. Yeah, nah. But then also it had brought to my attention that so how can I say it? So a group of people are now walking up into the situation. I said walking. Well, waking up. Somebody could be using a walkie-talkie. Those distant walkie-talkies where you can be like, 50 miles away. You can still use those walkie-talkies. Somebody's using that right now. I don't know why. But like when people are waking up to the fact where I've been saying, if there were people dealing with any of the folks that, so-called call themselves family, right? Somebody is looking at a situation right now because they got hooked up with somebody that is related to these people, friends of the family, all this other stuff, right? And somebody's looking at the situation and they looking at a person's behavior. It's the behavior. And it's like, damn, that's some manipulative shit. That's some hateful shit. Why would you do some shit? And then it's just like, not only that, I feel like somebody's either spending habits, purchasing habits, or something like that. Like it really stands out because it's like, versus worrying about paying your bills first. This is a motherfucker like, oh, I wanted to buy this, I wanted to buy that. It's like, but your bills come before you do that, right? And somebody's sitting there like, what? But you said that I could have all this and da 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 da. And it's like, somebody's like, man, fuck all that. I don't want to argue with you. And with them doing this, this is also somebody's parent that could have got involved in this situation, and they looking at it and it's like, wait a minute. I feel like somebody went to a gathering, like a function or something like that, and some other people showed up, and somebody was thinking that whoever their son or girlfriend or wife, whoever they hooked up with, they seen this it's a female that was having a conversation with somebody, like another group of men or women or family people or people that they knew. And it's like, damn, how they knew that? So somebody, instead of just going up to confront the situation, someone stood back and watched how they was interacting. And you can tell if somebody just actually just trying to introduce themselves, get to know people, or you can also tell when a person know who this other person is, like, on a deeper level. Somebody said back, I feel like this happened just recently or is about to be upcoming. But whoever it is like the conversation, somebody realizing these motherfuckers know each other. Okay. Next step is they go home. Somebody realized, oh no, I was talking to them and they were trying to invite me out to go have drinks or go eat or something about mimosas or some dumb shit, right? But somebody was like, they thinking nothing of it, like, oh, they just, But somebody picked up that goddamn phone and seen the conversation, and somebody was like, this was the ultimate. Somebody got set up with the ultimate okie doke. It's like these motherfuckers know each other. So clearly, when I said that these people, when they already target you, they already know how to keep control over you. It's like when the prime example that I can use was with Sheila. Sheila had this habit of where she felt that she could just like make me feel some type of way. And it's like, shit, I can own up to a point in my life where it was like, y'all heard me talk about it, where I had gained like so much fucking weight. And when I say so much fucking weight, it was ridiculous. But she had this habit, like, see, you remember when you gained all that pound and your stomach was hanging all in between your legs, and it's like, okay, but what point are you trying to get to when you're saying this shit to me? Like, is it supposed to hurt my feelings? Was it supposed to make me feel some type of way? Like when I asked her and I would confront her, she'd be like, but now, because see, when you trying to eat, and I'm like, well, for you to be so concerned about how I eat, do you pay for my food? Are you cooking the food? Are you making sure that it's being prepared? And the answer to every single last one of that was no, right? And she was making it her business to make it seem like, well, yeah, but then if then you sit your ass the fuck down because you don't exercise, for one. Two, you don't eat healthy. Three, you didn't start eating healthy until I got there. Four, what point are you trying to get to? And she could never tell me what point she was going to get to. Then this was also when I realized, like, she's the type of person that when they trying to get people like hemmed up and keep control of them, this is what they would do. And then it was like, well, pay attention to another thing that she did. So outside of that, I remember when, mind you, this dude was paid to be with me. But her thing was when she felt that I wasn't giving her money because I was, I wanted to move into that apartment, the Serenata apartments or whatever, right? So that's how I knew it was something with a major setup in that situation that she took advantage of, because she will always be like, well, what are you waiting for? And it's like, why are you still keeping the kids over here and stuff? Because I have to wait for the lady to put the lock on the door, and I don't want to be there and have, especially with baby James, he was so busy. The last thing I needed, because they still needed to fix the window, because the window, if the kids had pushed it, like literally they would have fell through the fucking window. So the house was like, for her to rent the fucking place to me, and but it was like also at the same time, like I can take full accountability because I was so desperate to get out this woman's house, was the fact that, what I'm saying, I was like, I needed to be in my own space. And because it was like, well, give me some money, give me some money. It's like, you got your own fucking money. What are you doing with your money? Because the money I'm giving you, I would literally give her anywhere from like 1,000 to 2,000, especially if I had just extra left over and stuff like that. I would give it to her, but it would be like, oh, well, since you've been kicking it with this damn dude, and come be with your kids, you just work. And it's like, okay, man, I'm with my kids all throughout the day. And then the one time where it's just like, I will probably decide, like maybe on a weekend or something, to go out or whatever. And I noticed that her behavior would change. So anytime that I start dating, her behavior would change. Anytime that she noticed that I will start buying something for myself or get something nice, the behavior would change. So then right before, as a matter of fact, she pulled it right after baby James passed away. Well, that's why that nigga, he was cheating on you with the neighbor, and he was cheating with you with the other girl you had an argument with in the stairs, and that's why he was doing something. He was fucking in your van and all this stuff. And yeah, I'm like, how the fuck would you know all of this? Now, granted, I already knew he was already up to no good, but I already had my own personal agenda after my son passed on, because he would bring up like, maybe we should go somewhere or whatever the case may be. And it was just like, I wouldn't say anything, but I was just like, I pondered on it, because when he brought it up, I was like, well, shit, you from Puerto Rico, right? I was like, you got folks over there, right? So me, I'm just digging for information to figure out, like, if I do decide to go ahead and go do this shit, what I'm saying? Hey, I can have my head covered for a little bit. I can figure out how to flip the finances. So unbeknownst to him, I'm doing my due diligence to figure out what it is. But I was like, well, shit, if I'm going to go, make sure you find you a job before you go. Make sure you know how much it's going to be for rent. Calculate for your, how they rent stuff is, set up over there. I've already had pre-planned ever since, after baby James had passed on. And I want to say it was like after Christmas. Give or take, like New Year's, February, that's when I was just like, I really was like, I want to go. Because then that's when I noticed, like, I don't know what was supposed to have happened in between that time, but I want to say around maybe March. No, February or March. That's when her attitude started changing again, because it was like, what I'm saying? Me and him was like two peas in motherfucking pride. Like, okay, I knew he was doing his fuck shit, but it was like, I was not concerned about that. Like, he was thinking like I'm concerned about the whole relationship. Like, motherfucker, the only thing I can take personal is because it was fucking with me, because I still had remembered I had seen a tall dude with stuff coming out his head with a beanie on, walking with a jean jacket and stuff like that, walking where my son was. So when I seen that, that's when I was like, nah, Sharita, because I kept it was like it was fucking with me real bad, because I was like, ain't no way, Sharita, I don't feel like Sheila would do some shit like this. But then it was like at the same time, like how she would send me like nasty ass text messages. Well, why you ain't come over here where my kids go to school over there? It'll just be easy. I'm just gonna come over here, set some stuff up, start moving my stuff in. And then I was just like, look, I need a fucking vacation. I need to breathe. So during that time, I was like, hey, if I go ahead and decide to take me a trip or something like that, would you keep the kids? And then it will be like, it got closer and closer. I think we ended up going in April and then moved out there in June. And when all that shit started happening, when I say this bitch was like, well, that's why he was cheating on you, he was doing this and this, and it's like, but my curiosity started sparking when it was just like, but how did you know? And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, that's their control tactic. Like I figured that part out in like 2021. But it was just like, Sharita, you gonna have to watch this stuff real fucking close, because then on top of that, Unbeknownst to him, I'm sitting here trying to pay attention to the environment. Like he was thinking like I'm more upset about it. Like of course I'm upset about what the fuck you doing. Of course. Cause motherfucker, like at this time, it's like nigga, this is crunch time. Cause either this gonna be a situation, either it's gonna make you, break you, or try to motherfucking kill you. Okay? And I'm like, once I figured out how she was trying to get down with that shit, that's when I knew I was like, all right, if he moving how she talking about, and he moving how I've already seen, this will be a motherfucker that will try to give me some shit intentionally. So I'm like, Shorty, you gonna have to bank on that, but I had to also understand at the same time, I gotta keep a low motherfucking radar on these motherfuckers, because if I spark his ass off, that's gonna fuck up some other shit that I have going on, and then that's gonna go off on her motherfucking radar, and that's the last thing I did. So it was just like, shit, let me just keep it normal, let me keep it cool. These are motherfuckers like, oh, she gullible, nah, nigga, I already know what the fuck I'm fit to do, but I'm doing everything in my power not to lose my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the most difficult thing in the world to do is not to lose your motherfucking cool. Especially when you know that a person either trying to come for your life, trying to give you something, trying to take something from you. And then it's like, you know how they moving. It's like, motherfucker, you already showing klepto fucking behavior. So one thing for sure, two things for certain, I don't know what you trying to steal from me, and I don't know why you trying to get it, but I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. And me trying to ask him like, motherfucker, I'm trying to ask you straight up. So, if anything gonna be happening, I'm saying, hey, regardless of what you do, like I will look out for somebody that I'll date before I look out for any of the motherfuckers. I swear to God, like I will look out for a stranger before somebody be like, but that's your mama. A dog could be mauling the fuck out of that bitch. You deserve that. As for somebody, they be like, that sounds hateful, that sounds harsh. Okay, would it be hateful and harsh when you knew that all these fucking people knew they was already targeted to kill your kids? All right, cool. I feel like that's an even exchange. So on top of that, when it came to him, I was like, well, shit, does he understand at the same time there's going to be a policy on his ass? He didn't realize that it was going to be a policy on him. And I was like, okay, but I was like, I guarantee I say, sure, the more he going to be super adamant about, trying to go against you, it's not gonna bother me. It ain't hurt me. That's your own motherfucking funeral. I can't cry for no nigga like nigga. I can't cry for you because you ain't really had no feelings from the beginning. Because at the same time, that's business. It's business. And I've been in this world my whole life, so a lot of people take it as, oh, you pretty, you cute. Okay, shit. We go to war, but people go to Afghanistan. Sometimes we lose a limb, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we lose our motherfucking mind. But at the same goddamn time, you gotta look at that situation as shit happens. You gonna sit there, and anytime that you sit there and talk to a war veteran, and you sit there talking about, it don't look like you been through anything, it don't look like you seen anything. Shit, do we gotta look like we been to fucking war all the time? Hell no. Everybody ain't gonna look like they been in a motherfucking war. They be like, oh, well, I didn't know. Well, shit, just because you didn't know, now you know. And then with the fact that you fucking know, shut the fuck up, because all scars ain't always outwardly. They're not going to always be outwardly. You're not going to always see somebody, oh, you got to be cut up, you got to be burnt, you got to be doing this. Like, yeah, we got some stuff like that. It's sometimes, you can heal it, sometimes you can't. But in this type of situation, it was so detrimental that I'm sitting here like, bruh, you sitting here conversing with motherfuckers, and I'm like, oh, okay, because he had this fucking habit, like he'll get so excited and thought it was just like the coolest shit, and I used to think that shit was so fucking lame. Like, nigga, who want to keep talking about jail? That shit ain't cool. Who want to keep talking about scamming? Like, nigga, it's way much more fucking in life than to be worried about that shit, because nigga, it's so many fucking ways to get money. But shit, if you gonna use that and you gonna be using this type of situation, use it to your benefit, flip it, and do better so you can be on the up and up versus keeping it on the dirty end. And then the fact that he didn't see it how I was seeing, I was like, you so adamant to go and fucking get a bitch, nigga, you digging your own grave. So me sitting here watching the environment, and it was like he had this habit, you want to keep taking me to the same people, but me not realizing as I'm paying attention to the surroundings of the people, I'm like, motherfucker, these are the same fucking people that's about to set you up. Oh, word? He would be like, oh, this is such and such and da-da-da-da. Oh, for real? Oh, okay. Yeah, that motherfucker finna betray you, though. Because he feel like he can punk you, right? Now his cousin night. Now it was the night where we went to go watch the basketball game. I'm watching who the one that he knew, the little old jailmate, and then I'm on to the cousin because his cousin. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tom was a little fine ass little motherfucker. I ain't seen no Puerto Rican boy with motherfucking dreads like that, and I was like, boy. But I was like, I'm gonna leave him alone. You too cool for school, but I'm gonna let you be whatever. And I had made it fucking known. Like, I text that nigga right there in his face, like, motherfucker, why the fuck would I feel some type of way when you sat here, like, we sitting there and he had these old scraggly things. I was like, this motherfucker had a very bad habit of, like, the bitches that he will fuck with, he will have them come around thinking I was gonna get jealous. Like, I was more like sitting there like, ugh. So when you do fuck on a girl, that's what you fucking on. When you fuck on a dude, that's what you fucking on. Like, I am not impressed at all. Like, at all. Like you ain't got no type of standard. And that's when I had to like sit there and have a conversation with myself. I was like, Shrita, you really lowering your standard for a motherfucker that ain't even got standard for anything that he fucking on. Like, is you just fucking on anybody that's giving you attention? Like, somebody tell you fine or something like that, or they just give you some play, you giving it up. I'm like, motherfucker, this dude, I'm like, you just easy. Like, anybody could get it from you. But then, I looked past that, and once I realized that we, when we was there or whatever, and I realized that it was like, I want to say, give or take, it was like a little swingers, little gay little area or whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker, did you take me here on a gay night? And he come on, nah. I'm like, motherfucker, yes, the fuck you did. But I was like, all he gonna do is lie anyway. So, I got so used to the lies that I was just like over it. So while he's sitting there thinking that, I don't know, I have certain tolerance whenever it comes to stuff. So that was like my first time ever trying like the candy, the chocolate shrooms or whatever. And it was just like, I don't know what kind of courage it gave me, but I was like, dude, I was like, yo, you got, weed on you, whatever. And I got some off of him. But I'm just sitting there looking at him before, like even before all that shit, I was like, this motherfucker is fine. But you know what I'm saying? I'm disregarding the fact that I'm here with his ass because I'm like, motherfucker, you already doing you, so you can't, try to pull like what you doing, who you talking to. Like, that nigga knew you already got an X factor. Like, I'm focused on Tone right here. I'm on Peter. I'm focused on this nigga right here. But I was like, he ain't gonna give it up. He want to act like a tough cookie. I was like, all right, you can be tough if you want to or whatever. And I'm for real, that motherfucker was acting real tough or whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna let you have it. But I told his ass that night as we were watching the game, I want to say it was the Knicks playing Philly that night. Because I'm a 76ers girl all day, okay? I've been down ever since Allen Iverson came into the goddamn league. I'm with him. But when I had ended up, confronting him, and I texted her, I was like, you finding the motherfucker. I was like, shit, you just let me know you say the word, baby. Like, what's up? But then he was sitting there and he would act like he was mad. But of course, when he got mad, the petty shit started. So like 2 days later, because I felt like he wasn't going to do it at first. But then when he realized that I had text dude that's when his dumb ass went on ahead. And I was like, sure, the dumb shit is coming. But I did not ever expect for him to like be like, oh, you want to drink or whatever? And then drink. And then we go to the restaurant. They slip some shit in my drink. And then that's when the rape shit happened. So afterwards, I remember when I went back to Sheila's, unbeknownst to him, this is how I put the correlation, but I kept asking him, like, nigga, I'll look out for you before I look out for this bitch, because I know for a fact everybody getting locked up. That's only if the motherfuckers, if she got people from off the ground, meaning, if y'all get it, you get it. If she got the motherfuckers off the ground, oh, they coming for her head. They coming for her head and anybody else that they've been working with. They gonna come for her head. But nigga, if you want to live and you want me to save your life and you want to stay out of motherfucking prison, it will behoove you to tell me the truth. I remember I did the same shit when it came to my ex-husband. And then was like, nigga, if you involved in some shit, I suggest you tell me, because shit, if it's money or something like that, I'll still break a motherfucker off. I don't care. Like, money is money. At the end of the day, like, you can't take the shit with you when you dead. And for me, it's like, shit, it's plenty money to be fucking made. But in certain situations, when you figure out at the same time, it'll be people willing to try to block you from getting it and shit like that. That shit be irking me. And then it's like after the fact when you be like, oh, I ain't trying to hear that, I don't care or whatever, then that's when folks want to get in their feelings like, oh damn, so she would have just motherfucker, I would have just gave you off the strength that if you could tell somebody that they in danger, shit, shut their ass off with a little bit of something. Like, it is not just being generous, it's just like the simple fact out of respect. Out of courtesy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to tell me, but you told me. Someone off of that, there you go. So most people used to always be like, why would people always fuck with you? Because off this, to me, it's the principle. It's the principle. You sitting there doing something for me that you know you ain't have to fucking do. So shit, it look like you hungry or you starving. I'm gonna make sure you eat. I'm gonna make sure you eat. Oh shit, motherfucking shit. I wouldn't give a fuck shit. A motherfucker give me $1 million and then the fact that you said some shit, let me chuck you off a good low, you know, let me give you like 50,000 or something like that. Let me give you a little something. It ain't a whole lot, but it's a little bit something. So whatever it is that they choose to do, if they hopefully they know how to manage their money, but if they don't, that ain't my motherfucking problem. I'm giving you that off the fact that, hey, you spoke up. We live in a day and age where everything is concerned and all about fucking money. And for me, I don't really care for it because I can get to it. I'm able to get to it. If ain't nobody in my motherfucking way and ain't nobody stopping shit, motherfucker, even right now, I know I will be getting to it. But the simple fact that I know is people, so mad and upset, like, why she always got to do it? It's like they be making me feel like the damn girl on from the Brady Bunch. Marsha, why she get what she want? Why, bitch? Because I'm a spoiled little bitch and I spoil my motherfucking self before anybody else got to spoil me. These be fucking females that got to depend on a person to do it for them. Like, no, I don't want nobody to do it for me because and it's like, it'll be difficult for me to even allow certain people to do anything for me because what always happens? They always making sure nobody help me. So shit, you gonna end up doing it on your own anyway, right? So like that right there was just like a main big piece of where it allowed me to know like, hey, they got watchers for the watchers. So as they watching me and they're doing this shit, they got about 3 to 4 other fucking people watching them doing what it is that they doing. So anybody that, I was like, if dude, I'm sitting here like, okay, well, if you ain't gonna say shit, nigga, well, I ain't gonna tell you all who fucking watching you now. And unbeknownst to you, because I know for a fact right now, if Sebastian was fucking watching, I guarantee that nigga probably feeling in his chest because it was a point where he wanted to come where I was in Fort Campbell and I had a whole bunch of shit going on. And the last thing, because I know what type of lifestyle we live, where we came from and shit like that. And granted, it would have helped them, but it was like at the same time, nigga, I got too many eyes on me. And him knowing probably now and figuring out like, nigga, I was really trying to protect you. I was really protecting you. Any man I ever dealt with, I'm really protecting you at the end of the day because I know like they be getting into some shit and then when they realize like after the fact when everything's said and done, it's like, Shrita, you was in some shit. Yeah, motherfucker. So that's why at the end of the day when I'm sitting there telling you like, nah, let's not do that. Let's not go over there or I'm asking certain things just to stay on the up and up is due to the simple fact I already know what was going on. So when I peep game and he's sitting there thinking like, oh, ain't nobody doing this, it's like, motherfucker, you might feel like you got fucking protection, but lo and behold, unbeknownst to you, whatever fucking pool you feeling like you got, that shit ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. And then when I caught on after, I want to say in October, that's when I caught on. I was like, damn, it's feds on the ground. And I was like, these motherfuckers fit to do some dumb shit. And lo and behold, they've been doing stupid shit since then. I was like, motherfucker, they gonna be watching me. They've been watching the whole time. They was just really, like, the biggest part of it was, like, towards, I want to say, give or take the last year or 2 years, they was really just trying to figure out what was my interaction with dude. That was their biggest thing, trying to figure out what was my interaction with him. And I'm like, do you realize what's going on right now, bruh? Nah, it ain't nothing. I was like, just because little Puerto Rico police and them motherfuckers and you was fucking on that police dude, that don't mean not a motherfucking thing. And he been getting watched for a cool little minute because what the fuck he did 2 to 3 years prior to you and before you got on the site and shit like that. And they know you notorious for doing what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like, all right. And then I was like, plus, You got looked at due to the simple fact when you was working at Red Lobster, you thought nobody was paying attention, and they was paying more attention to the fact who was meeting up with this motherfucker. And unbeknownst to you, that Fed's been watching his stupid ass since 2016. Stupid, and it's just like, you get what you get, motherfucker. So you know, it's people knocking on your door and you wonder why, oh, I'm getting all this shit. Motherfucker, ain't shit that you doing right now is a secret. Nothing. I'm 100% sure if one of these motherfucking feds really want to be petty and fuck with you and you gonna be sitting there, is how she know this? Motherfucker, I ain't gotta know a motherfucking thing. But the bitches that you fucking with, I'm 100% sure that they done gave them a little bit of incentive, that some of them coming in, it's like, when did you get paid? Because I'm hearing somebody asking them, when did you get paid? Where you get some money from? And unbeknownst to you, like, nah, I went to go strip. I went over here to go do this real quick. I went to go do a little flip or whatever. Like, nah, she didn't get that from tricking, nigga. She went from over there from snitching. And you gonna know, somebody gonna figure out at the same time, somebody, I'm getting like, if it's a PI or something like that, and it's a cop or somebody that's following, like, it's a cop that's going to get done real bad. I'm talking about they fit to turn this motherfucker every which way but loose. Do you hear me? And then it's like, I remember telling him, it's like, motherfucker, you doing this shit? It was about 6 motherfuckers that was on this nigga head. One of them was, I want to say the little flame, little ugly, them girls. I was just like, I was not impressed by none of them fucking females that he was messing with, because I was like, am I supposed to be in my feelings? But one part that's more fucking embarrassing, you taking something that I feel is personal between you and I, and you giving it to these bras, like, nigga, you weak than a motherfucker. I need something way better. You sitting there destroying your self-esteem and your motherfucking disability. Is it this? Is it this? Like, motherfucking shit, your shit was a little bit bigger than the motherfuckers that I was sitting there giving attention to. Shit, the little midget had a chance, but the little midget just wasn't doing it for me. I'm just like, but it was like the craziest part was when Sheila will pull them situations where she was telling me about him, and then she'd be like, well, what happened with Veronica? And I'm like, what you talking about? You know I don't talk to her. I ain't talked to her in like a couple years. What you talking about? Oh, well, look at her on social media. Okay, what the fuck you showing me? I'm like, and the thing of it is, I was like, she looks nice. She look good. I'm glad that she, lost weight and she's feeling better about herself. That looks good. And I left it at that. But then she kept trying to bring it up and bring it up and bring it up. And I was like, yeah, you a messy bitch. That's when it was just like, there was no healing this situation. There was no nothing. But one thing for sure that I wanted to sit there and show her something about was, because I did, like, I was flipping out. And it's around the time where my hormones was coming down, and they all knew in the fucking house that the abortion had happened or I was miscarrying. And he came over, and I was like, can you come over? And he came over, and I literally apologized to him in front of her. But it pissed her off because she was just like, well, she ain't never did nothing like that to nobody before. Because when you wrong, you wrong. But I was like, I needed him to know, like, yo, people fuck up. We do things wrong. I know we have our, ups and downs and shit like that. But I was so serious for him to understand. And it was like, not even that. I had her there. I had my son there. I had both of the boys there. And then, of course, it was a dog, and then it was him. And I was like, I fucked up. I was mean. I was a little hateful. I shouldn't have treated you how I did. You know what I'm saying? It's been hard or whatever. Even though it was no type of relationship, no nothing like that. It was just like, I still felt I needed to apologize to him. And ever since then, I left it at that. But that was like last year. It was last year that I did that. But even then, I'm still apologizing to the motherfucker when I knew that he raped me. That's how I knew. I was like, Shrita, you getting past the healing and stuff like that. And the fact that he was taking, like, me getting mad, and I'm like, bro, I'm only crying because I'm pissed off because I'm trying not to kill you. And off the fact that I'm a firm believer, if I ever tell a person I love you, I fuck with you, I got you, if I ever looked out for you, my loyalty runs so fucking deep. That's why I'm at a point in my life like, nah, I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be cool with nobody. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you, but give me the same courtesy and respect. And I took it so fucking personal because it's like, motherfucker, I was looking out for you. And unbeknownst to you, like, I'm the last little piece of protection that you will ever have. And anybody that could have done anything or been involved, the best thing that anyone could have done was just, hey, Rita, you know, yeah, I did, da 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 da. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, honestly, I don't feel like that you should hold on to stupid shit at the end of the day because anything can be fucking forgiven. Anything can be fucking forgiven. But if you gonna sit there and wait somebody, like I'm a firm believer though. If I give you a time limit to sit there and speak to me, you better speak the fuck up. Speak up. Or forever hold your motherfucking peace because by the time you get ready, hey, can we talk? You know, whatever it is that you feel like you gotta tell me, it's all good. And for that person, you wanna know what it is? The beauty in that shit, you gonna suffer. Cause it's like they need to get it off their chest. I don't wanna hear that shit. And I'm gonna be the person to tell you, I don't wanna hear shit you talking about, but it's forgiving though. Ride with it, you sit with it. That's something that you gotta sit with because if I told you 3 days ago you only had 72 hours to talk to me, you got motherfucking 72 hours. Cause after that, I'm not, it's going in one ear and it's going right the fuck out. Because at that point, when I've already processed, I'm giving you 72 hours. That 72 hours is for me to leave you that emotional availability to hear you clearly about what it is so I can have a clear understanding versus a reaction. Now, when I get past that 72 hours, we at hour 73. I ain't trying to hear shit you talking about because you meant to do what you did. A genuine person, a compassionate person, a person that really just want to fix it and get that shit off their head and get it off their heart, don't want to go through the emotional turmoil or the you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to torture you. But I gave you 72 hours, not 73. That's no different than somebody telling you you have 72 hours to make sure you turn in your paperwork for your bills. You got 72 hours to get this paycheck. You see what I'm saying? And treat it as such. And if you ain't gonna treat it as such, why should I be concerned about what you feeling? You know what? But it's still me showing you some compassion. Whatever it is you gotta say, it's cool. It's cool. Either we're gonna sit there and eat or whatever, but don't bring up shit that you gotta say because that time already passed. I'm not emotionally available to hear shit. I'm here in the present, in this moment. We're gonna enjoy this fucking meal. If not, you know, hey, how you doing? Keep it pushing. It ain't no argument. It ain't for me to go back and forth with you. It ain't no motherfucking argument. Shit, I gave you a motherfucking time limit. I'm not moving on when you move, I move. No, it don't work like that. Because especially if I know that I didn't do something wrong, and then even if I did do something wrong and I reached out to you, I try to speak to you, I look to resolve it, and you felt that, oh, I ain't gonna say shit, I ain't gonna do nothing, that ain't my motherfucking problem at that point. You know what I'm saying? Just keep whatever it is that you gotta say, but if you show up, you show up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be no asshole about that part of it because shit, you use gas money. That's prevalent right now. People need gas money and shit. What you want? What's up? But to discuss about some shit that you did that you meant to do, don't apologize for it because you did it. If you didn't mean to do it, you wouldn't have did it in the first place. Shit, I'll be the motherfucker to say what you mean and mean what the fuck you say. But also, you gotta know at the same time, if a person is gonna be willing to get you to do some fuck shit, what make you think that they ain't gonna do that shit to you? I'm a firm believer of that. That's why it's just like cheating. Oh, you cheated. I ain't finna do that cheat back shit. Because if you stand on your own accord. But either way it go, most of the time, I'm allowing you to get here until I get tired of your ass. I'll let a motherfucker stay until I'm tired of you. Because it's going to be that constant reminder of reason being why I left in the motherfucking first place. It was that. Yeah. I ain't gonna argue with you. Oh. Somebody popped up. You got a phone call. What they got to do with me? Either you gonna resolve that, or you know somebody's not gonna be concerned about that. But then it's like at the same time, you gotta know when a person is gonna be willing to set you up in some situations. When a person is gonna be very immature about what it is that they doing. And me, like constantly, I was just surrounded by a whole bunch of immaturity. But I was like, sure, you being immature with your goals. You being immature with your ambitions. You're being immature about what it is that you looking to go ahead and accomplish with yourself. And once I realized, I was like, shit, you know, I am lowering my standards by not giving myself the respect to know that you had a goal, you have a dream, you got things that you looking to accomplish. And the only reason why you're not accomplishing because you're allowing people with immature behaviors, tendencies to sit there and get in the way of what it is that you're looking to do. But right now, you know what I'm saying? It's like certain people is like, I don't mind looking out for people, but it's like, shit, at least show me the same common courtesy. But it's like, now that I learned the hard way that people ain't gonna ever look out for you how you'll look out for them. So now it's just like, look out for yourself, but also pay attention to how people moving. Just like I was like, Buddy thought he was gonna get away with how he was about to hit me with that car, caught his ass slipping today. I was like, motherfuckers thought they got away with how they was gonna treat people. I was like, nah, I'll catch you slipping today. But shit, either way it goes, it's like, shit, it's a new time, it's a new day, it's a new age. Because it's like, people get confused, like, well, will she want to hear me? Will she, like, motherfucker, I'll hear you. But it's like, be mindful about what it is. Because my thing is, I'm going to ask you, or you going to either tell me whatever. It doesn't matter. But shit, even then, if a person do get it out, it's like, shit, depending on how fucking dirty you did me, and you at the mercy of whatever it is that I feel like at that time. You are literally at the mercy of what I feel like at that time. Do I feel like hearing you, or am I actually emotionally available? And any person that really know me know I would tell you straight up to your face, I'm not emotionally available to hear that shit right now. Or I'll, you know, hear you out just to hear you out. Because I mean, I'm a firm believer. But like I said, it's only, like I said last night or earlier this morning, it's only 3 people I'm meant to actually hear out fully. It's 3. But it's 11 people that actually want to have a conversation. But it's 3 people. But it's one person in particularly I was going to see. But I was like, that one person that I know that I wanted to hear something from, I was like, that one ain't got no balls to do it. But the other 2, I was like, it's a possibility, but I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out if they're going to say something or not. Because it's not for me, but it's like, it's for me to keep going, keep, doing what I got to do. Because it's like, the more fuck shit that they going to do, it's like, literally, I could see somebody try to do some shit and their ass get arrested right on the spot. Or it's like, as soon as they get ready to do something, they going to find themselves arrested. So I was just like, let it be what it's going to be. But then they get some food. Well, it ain't gonna be no major food, but get something to eat. Y'all don't party too hard. What goes in the dark always comes to the light. Let me fix my hair. Oh, I got them dress on.